He put on his glasses, carefully unfolded the letter, and began to read. The room seemed to listen too. My dearest Sam, by the time you read this, I will have left you twice. Once when my body could no longer fight, and once when I made a decision you never saw coming. The first was nature's doing, the second was mine, and I'm still unsure which one hurt you more. You always thought you convinced me to leave this hotel to an organization. But Sam, my dear Sam, how could I? How could I let go of the one place that held all my years, all my memories, and give it to strangers who would never understand what it meant? The truth is, I tried, I truly did. But when the moment came, my heart refused. And I need you to understand why. I have lived a long life, too long perhaps. Long enough to know that trust is a fragile thing, and love is even more fragile. It can take a lifetime to build, and only an absence or betrayal to break. When I was young, I believed in love and in trust wholeheartedly. I believed in the goodness of people, in the promises they made, in the warmth of a hand that swore it would never let go. I built my life on these beliefs. I built myself on them. And yet, time and time again, I found myself alone. It started when I was a girl, when I first felt the weight of abandonment. You see, Sam, my parents loved me. But love does not always mean presence. They were too occupied with their own lives, too busy chasing ambitions that had no space for a child who only wanted to be seen. And so, I learned early that silence was my closest companion, that being strong meant swallowing pain, that smiling meant hiding sorrow. As the years passed, I placed my trust in friends, in lovers, in colleagues. I gave them my heart, my loyalty, my endless understanding. And do you know what I learned? That people love you when it is easy, when you are bright and whole and unburdened. But the moment you falter, the moment you need them as much as they need you, they begin to drift. I trusted a man once, loved him even. I thought he would be my partner in life, the one who would prove my fears wrong. He left when my world grew heavy, when I needed him to stay. He said he couldn't breathe beside someone drowning. But I wasn't asking to be saved, only to be accompanied. He found another, someone lighter, someone who did not carry the weight of too many unspoken wounds. And I suddenly smiled through it, as I always did, Sam. I became a psychotherapist. I spent my years listening to others, helping them carry their burdens. I sat across from people who wept, who broke apart in front of me, and I held their pain as if it were my own. I gave them the words I had always longed to hear myself. And yet, when my own soul cried out, when I needed to be heard, the world was deaf. No one asked me how I was. No one wondered if I had battles of my own. No one, except you. You asked questions no one else thought to ask. And when I had no answers, you stayed anyway. You listened, Sam. Not just to my voice, but to the silence between my words. You saw the cracks in my strength, the exhaustion beneath my smile, and you never turned away. Not once. Even in my final years, when my body failed me, when I was reduced to a frail whisper of the woman I once was, you stayed. You sat beside my hospital bed, holding my hand as if it still had warmth to offer. You never made me feel like a burden, though I knew I was. You brought me tea when I had no strength to drink it, read to me when my eyes could no longer bear the strain. And Sam, Do you know what that meant to me? Do you? I'm almost over 100 years. And yet, in all those years, the only true constant I ever had was you. That is why I left you the hotel. Not out of obligation. Not because I had no one else, but because this place holds my spirit. And if it must belong to anyone, let it belong to the one person who made me believe, always, that I was never truly alone. And now, I must tell you something that has haunted me every moment since I last looked into your kind eyes. Please, forgive me. Forgive me for leaving you in the way that I did. Forgive me for keeping this secret, for not telling you sooner. Forgive me for the weight I have placed upon your shoulders. I never meant to hurt you, my dearest friend. I only wanted to give you something I really can say, for sure I had. Something that, in time, I hope you will understand. And Sam, you know how I adored the scent of cedar cinnamon and, of course, freshly baked bread. Please, for heaven's sake, make sure those scents remain in the hotel. Keep them alive for as long as you can. I'd hate for my dear guests to step into a place that smells of dust and old books. We both know you have a fondness for those, but let's not test the patience of the living. If the soul does linger after the body fades, I'll find the corners of the hotel where the light hits just right and sit a while, listening for your footsteps. I am tired now. The nurse is looking at me, waiting to take the pen from my trembling hands. But before she does, before my voice fades into the quiet forever, let me say this. You were the greatest gift life ever gave me. And if I could do it all over again, I would find you sooner. Goodbye, Sam, with all the love this weary heart still holds. Angel.